Hello guys, welcome to the video. In today's episode, I am basically just giving a little bit of a review, few thoughts and opinions on Hunter Call of the Wild for the PS5. Now, straight out of the gate, when you load in, you'll be captivated by how visually pleasing this game can be. It's very easy to get distracted in games, and you don't actually look at the scenery. But by far, hands down, this game visually is stunning. Now, there are several different reserves which you can choose from. A lot of them are included in DLCs, but no need to fear because those DLCs aren't ridiculously priced. They're actually reasonably priced, in my opinion. In comparison to some other games that you may play, you really can't argue with the cost of the DLCs, and especially what they include. Now, I'm on Mississippi Acres at the moment. This map has been, in my opinion, the best map that I've played so far. But as you can see, there are various different locations on the map, lots of outposts to discover, lots of watch and lookout points to unlock other locations of your map. But in different sections, you'll find different animals, different species, and obviously each map give you a variety of different species to hunt. Now, if we go over to our little cabin here, you'll notice that we have a cache, a weapons cache, and in here you got a variety of all different types of caliber weapons alongside with bows, recurve bows, shotguns, pistols. The list goes on. You also get various different ammo types for different games, so birdshot, buckshot, that type of stuff. And obviously different bows, different arrows. You can even get crossbows. And not so long ago, they introduced tracer arrows as well. So they flash. So if you're hunting at night, which is a really cool thing to do, if you're hunting at night, you can see where you've downed your animal, downed your prey, so it's easier to find. They also implemented a dog. There's a couple of different breeds you can choose from. You name. Thankfully, you get the first one free, so just bear that in mind. But these dogs are really, really good, especially for tracking your prey. Sometimes it's hard, you can get yourself in a bit of a muddle. You get yourself lost, or you can't quite track your game down that you've shot. So they're very good at tracking blood. And obviously, the more you progress with the dog, you can interact with them, give them commands. And yeah, they're a great asset, fantastic asset. There was a problem a little while ago with a few bugs, but it's nothing to really worry about. But 100%, if you have the funds, you have the means, I would definitely recommend buying the dog. Sometimes they can be priceless in some elements, but they do come with skills. So I shall show you that here. So yeah, you get stats and traits and stuff, and the more you level up your dog, you can put different your different points into your different little perks there that offer different things. No different than your skill tree. As you level, you gain points, and you can put them into the desired skills and perks that you think are necessary. So that's one good thing about the game, is that there's different ways of hunting. You could either be you could stalk your prey, or you can be almost like a little bit of an ambusher, really. You sit there and call your animals in, and that goes down to your inventory. You can carry up to quite a considerable amount. You can get backpacks and things like that, which I can show you in the cache there. I wouldn't recommend obviously using a backpack because you generate more noise. But yeah, it really depends on what sort of hunting style you want to go for. The game caters for a lot of different ways that you can hunt, whether that be what I mentioned before, you tracking and stalking the animal, or whether you decide to use one of the hunting stands which are available. There's various hunting blinds, ground blinds, all that kind of stuff. Layout blinds especially, that's used for your duck and your geese hunting, your goose hunting, which is extremely fun. I'll be doing a few videos on that. But yeah, it offers a variety, and that's the important thing. More to the point, your style of hunting doesn't really affect the game in any way. If you collect too much hunting pressure, then obviously you destroy your need zones. So the need zone and feeding zones, watering zones, they appear, when you use your binoculars, to highlight the animal and stuff like that. They offer you, if you look in the bottom right there, there's time zones, and it tells you when the animal is, between the hours of when the animal will be there. So you can definitely get a sort of an idea of what animals are where and what times they feed and sleep, etc., which I think is a really, really nice feature. Now, bearing in mind, you do get areas like this that show up on the map. So when you kill an animal, it creates hunting pressure, and the more animals you kill in that area, the lighter the color becomes. Obviously, if you go too far, I believe it's between sort of 2 to 3 animals in that area. If you kill any more than that and there's need zones around it, it will remove the need zones. But like I said, it depends on your level of and your style of hunting. But overall, first impressions for this game, the variety that you get, the choices that you get in game, your hunting styles, using your different rifles. I mean, personally, I prefer the bow hunting. It's just much more of a challenge in a sense. It's very nice, especially because it doesn't scare the animals as much, nor does it create too much hunting pressure, especially if you're in one of the hunting stands. But you do get different grains of arrows, the same way you get different caliber rounds, the right tool for the job, so to speak. But yeah, I mean, overall, if you're thinking about buying this game, definitely, I would definitely recommend it. In comparison to other hunting games, this definitely is by far one of the better hunting games that you can buy on the market today, simply down to the multiplayer feature. Other hunting games don't allow you to play multiplayer, and I think that's kind of a sore point, really. So it definitely sells itself. Being able to hunt with your buddies, you can set tents up, and just have a genuine laugh. You can have somebody spotting for you whilst you calculate your range and distances, because that element of the game is really, really important, especially when creeping up on an animal. You'll notice in the bottom right hand corner of the screen, you get a little compass. That little green arrow indicates your wind direction. So obviously, if that's pointing towards the animal that you're looking at, then the chances are you're not going to be able to call it in, because it'll pick up on your scent. And that's where your scent eliminators and things come into play, which is a really cool feature that they've added. But you'll also notice as well that there's a little heart symbol that indicates your heart rate. The little symbol in the middle, the eye, sort of like eye icon, is your visibility. So here it says that I'm like half hidden, but if you go into one of these bushes, something like that, it basically just, if you get it right, a flat line is what you want. It basically just means that you're not visible to animals and stuff like that. And then you've got your little speaker symbol there, which indicates how much noise you're generating, really. And it comes back down to what I was saying about the backpacks. You tend to generate much more noise with one of those on. So if you're planning to stalk game or creep up on game, then I would definitely recommend not taking a backpack out. But like I said, this is what is so brilliant about this game. It offers you so much. You can go about things in a fair few different ways. But yeah, it's just all about getting into the hunt and enjoying yourself. And this is exactly what I like about this game. It offers you so much, especially with your inventory. Now, I know they're going to be adding a few different quality of life updates, like a weapon wheel and all that kind of stuff, which is going to make the navigating through the menus a darn sight easier than what it is, because at the moment it is a tad bit clunky, but it's negligible. You know, you can't argue with it. But these little huts here, it's basically just a little area that you can go to, you know, change your weapons out, you can sleep, change your time of the day, and all that kind of stuff. Now, one thing that I will get into more than anything is the sound effects, the weapon sound effects. Now, if you've got a fairly decent headset, I'd recommend checking your volume before you decide to fire a few rounds off, because these guns are very accurate to their original counterparts, so they are extremely loud. I'll give you an example in a moment, but this just shows really what this game is like. But here you can see lots of different ammo types. Obviously, as you progress through the game, you level up, you get more XP, which you can unlock more weapons. Now, you do have to use specific weapons in order to level them up. So if you want to unlock pistols, then you need to kill game with pistols, etc., etc. It's not done based on you level up, you unlock it as you go, like you do get in other conventional games. But the guns are extremely satisfying to shoot. Another good thing that they've done with this is the visuals of the guns and their sounds. Like I said before, if you got a decent headset on and your volume's jacked up, then I would definitely take that into consideration. But I'll just give you a little example here. It is definitely a cool little feature that they have with the gun effects, and obviously the reloading animations. It's all really nicely done. You can also get different variants of these guns as well. They don't perform any different. It's just cosmetics. It's just the way it looks. But if you want to run around with a golden revolver or something, the option's there. But I'll get more into the animal species now. Obviously, the animal species are quite vast and varied. So the animal behaviours, they act exactly like you would expect them to in the real world, picking up on scents, and the animal levels. Obviously the higher the animal level, the more prone they are to spooking, especially if you go for the style of creeping up on the animal. But yeah, the harder the level the animal, the harder it's going to be to get it, which makes perfect sense. But yeah, these maps definitely sell the game for me. Going to different reserves around the world, you know, and being able to hunt different species of animals in different locations is definitely a selling point to me, especially if you're into, you know, hunting your white-tailed deers and your wild boars and stuff. Personally, my favorite is hunting turkeys, turkeys. Very satisfying, especially when you use the 2 rounds. It's almost like shooting an air rifle. But yeah, in terms of DLC, this game offers a lot. You can get night vision goggles, things like that. It comes in all various different packs, so it definitely caters for various different styles of hunting, whether you're a nighttime hunter or a daytime hunter. It all really depends. As the stability of the game, I've had no problems with the single player side of things. You get a series of missions, and you carry those mission out in the parameters which the game, tells you. It's a good way of making money. Some of them can be a little bit tedious, but it's a hunting game. That's part of the grind. It's a simulator, and it does a very, very good job with that. Now, multiplayer, the multiplayer side of it. Don't get me wrong; it's nice to play with a few friends here and there, but there are a few connectivity, stability issues. And obviously, in multiplayer, you run into the fear or the problem of other people not respecting your space, and you could be just creeping up onto an animal and someone over 300 meters away, pops a shot off, and that's game over. All that time that you've spent trying to bag your animal. But to one of my previous statements, like I said, these reserves, they are beautifully done. The visuals, especially for the next gen versions, the frame rate is crisp. I've had no issues with frame rate or anything like that. It has been solid all the way through for me since day one of playing this game. It has just been an absolute joy, especially if you're into your hunting. On this map, Mississippi, you've got gators and things like that. So it goes back to saying there are a lot of animals, a variety of animals which you can choose. Now, you do get a codex, which obviously gives you the list of the reserves, but it also gives you a list of, wildlife stuff, so you can kind of get a general idea of what animals are available. Rabbits and ibex, all that sort of stuff, sheep, wildebeests. It depends on where you go on the map, but or should I say, it depends on the reserve that you choose. But there are weapons to cater for the animals which are there, so the right caliber for the right animal, and that goes down to in this part of the video where hunt. It's not just a simple case of creeping up on an animal and shooting it. You get a thing called it's integrity. It's hunting integrity. So if you mess up a shot on the animal and don't bag it, it can affect that. Not all shots that you land will drop the animal. So shot placement is a very, very, very important element to the game, as it rightfully should be. Where you would normally shoot an animal in the real world, it would replicate here. Now, sometimes the animals can be a little bit buggy, and you may hit the animal, but it doesn't necessarily mean to say that you're going to down it. So that's exactly where the dog comes into play. It's a fantastic feature, fantastic asset to have. You have different various commands which you can give the dog. Lay down, track, etc. So obviously bear that in mind, because the dog can spook animals too. So it depends on how you look at it. It can be a great asset, but it can also be a really bad asset at the same time. You've just got to really pay particular attention to it. But as the maps go, it's all about taking your time. It's a patience game, hunting, if you're running around all over the place, you're not going to find anything. Your best bet is just to do a little bit of walking, check a few trails, tracks, etc. When you click on a track, these different perks offer different things. So for me, it gives you a rough idea of the animal's weight, the gender, and general direction, stuff like that. You can use your dog to track it. So it's a really, really fun game, especially if you have multiple people with you. You can all work together, and different perks, different layouts, different setups. It's really, really nice. And also, if you run into a player that's not quite experienced, helping that player, if you're an experienced player within the game, it definitely goes a long way. Intimidating, educate instead of intimidate is the way I go. But overall, I mean, you can't argue with this game. Visually, it is just, it's breathtaking. Some of the maps offer some really spectacular views. I know that it's a hunting game, but visually you want it to look and sound nice as the idea is. But yeah, you get different vibes, different hunting styles, etc., etc. And like I said, for the review basis and for the price, especially with the bundle deals that they do, this game comes on sale quite a lot. So 100%, if you're ever thinking about buying this game, or you've been looking at it for a little while and you're not too sure, feel free to drop some some comments down in the section below. I'm sure I'm happy to help you alongside with the community. It's a fantastic community for this game. Lots of Facebook groups, so it's definitely worth picking up if you're into your hunting. And yeah, it gets a 10 out of 10 for me in terms of hunting simulation. Now, because it offers so much and it's so varied, the diversity between the animals, the locations, the physics of the game, shooting the animals, the placement. Yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun. You can spend a lot of hours in this game, even if you're just messing about or you want to go for a little look. The game does offer you a few transport modes, so you can get yourself a quad bike, but bear in mind, the more sound you generate, you'll spook the animals. So if you're planning on going and bagging an animal, I suggest that you don't use the quad bike. I just use it for going around, uncovering the outposts and the save points, really, the outposts. So it's definitely a tool, but I wouldn't use it in your conventional hunting. It's especially with backpacks and things like that. It's just patience. You gotta really listen out for the game, the animals. But as you can see, it's a warning call, so the amount of noise that I'm generating here, the animal is picking up on it. So it's another really solid feature. Now, straight out of the gate, a lot of people think, well, I need to get the best weapons, I need to get this and I need to get that. The baseline weapons, they're perfect for the job. They may not be the most powerful, but you kind of get yourself into a routine that, caliber isn't everything sometimes, and starting off small and working yourself up is probably the best way to go. As you can see, you can spot the animal, tells you the health and things like that. So when you shoot the animal, that percentage bar at the top, it will drop. So it kind of gives you an idea of the animal's going to be downed within an area. But obviously you can also check the map for hunting pressure, etc., just to see whether it has actually died or not. But yeah, guys, like I say, it is a fantastic hunting game. If you're thinking about picking it up, definitely do it. And even if you can try it out and you've got a friend, it's definitely worth giving it a go. And if you're not a fan of obviously grinding up through the weapons and things like that, or you're fed up of the weapons at the beginning that it gives you, then you can always buy the DLC packs. No matter if you restart your game or anything like that, those DLC weapons will be available to you straight out of the gate. There's no messing around there. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. If you have any comments, then feel free to drop them below. And yeah, I'm going to be starting a multiplayer series here. So if any of you guys want to jump in on a multiplayer session and do a little bit of hunting, have a little chat, then by all means, drop your details in the comment section below. And yeah, we can get something going. But if there's any questions that you may have for the video, don't be afraid to ask. And obviously like and subscribe and turn the bell notification on. That way you won't miss any of my latest videos, live streams, etc. But yeah, guys, it's massively appreciated. I hope that you've enjoyed the video. Until next time, take it easy.